And hello again, Silver Gauntlets. We are back live for another double feature this time, not just one. We've got two races at once. Round one of the Wanderers bracket, we have Renata versus Natheirean, who are playing their first game of their series, and LittleMissRappa versus Egodev, playing their second game of their series. With me on comms here, assuming I pressed all my buttons correctly, is Elagatua and melqwii. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and it's good to be with you. It's a little weird that time has stopped at 22 seconds, but hopefully we can get time restarted in a few minutes.
Yes, I'm sure I have power over time. That's what this book says, at least. Anyway, chat, how's sound coming through for you? Everything working right? I should probably wait a second, because, chat delays a thing.
Yeah, let's give them...
Everything sounds fine. Alright, let me set the timer to actually work. Do not save that I've started the splits already, and race monitor is pinged to make it start. So, let me scene transition us so we can see what's going on here. We have, unfortunately, a smaller layout here, so you're not going to be able to see what songs people have. However, please note we do have a ZL start with the Spirit Medallion. Mel might be a bit quiet.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately up 100% input on my end, so if I am quiet, I can either talk louder or...
Oh, would help if I actually started the timer. Crap. Oh well.
We're
fine. Everything's fine. There's nothing to worry about. Sorry.
We're on the wrong screen.
Oh, yeah, we are. Shoot. Wait, no, I hit transition. What the hell?
We were already on the Forerunner layout earlier.
You shouldn't have been. Hold on.
The stream's working, but our comm view is not working.
It's comm view only. Anyway, chat, we're gonna hope that you will keep an eye on the path counts for us. Hopefully
how's that?
In.
Is that coming out better?
No.
No? Crap, do I have to close OBS? How about that?
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so it's watching my preview screen, not my actual screen. Awesome. I love it. And by that I mean I hate it.
I'm learning.
No, it shouldn't be doing that at all. So cool. We've got sound on Nath right now, although we do have multiple people with working sound. We have 4 people going off in very, very different directions, it looks to me.
Yeah, and it looks like we did get a hint. Our power is 13 steps, wisdom is 3, and courage is 5, which kind of interesting counts because we could have a lot of overlap, we could not.
I mean, we did just see in the previous race that we had those double 3s, so it's very possible that you could have that.
This is a little bit of an interesting start because the first path hint was for the short path. That's always nice because sometimes when you get that first path hint that's on a really long path, you can feel a little lost early on, but we're going to get something in CAC, probably a song that's going to point us in the right direction. And already starting with ZL is going to give us an extra song in the graveyard really early, so there should be some good song chaining that results from this opening set of items, and we're about to see what the Song of Storms is right now.
Yeah, IGC Path to Power.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Hey, Saria.
So
my assumption whenever I see something like 13 is, just skip over King Mweep, get your Nocturne and Ice Cavern, win.
I mean, yeah. Combine that with the whole, we literally just saw IGC Path of Power about an hour ago. Also, we don't have room on the layout for medallions, but we know that we do have that layout. If people need to know, just mention it in chat. We can give that to you. Yeah, we got Sorry in the Windmill, as we just said, and we've just got a big party in Kakariko Village.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything else in Kakariko right now, so I think the default assumption should probably be that Saria's is maybe the path that's on Wisdom. And that's an adjustment that our runners might want to think about, especially if you're experienced. Getting a song like this might trigger you to change your normal opening route. I think with Saria's potentially path early on, it becomes a lot better to try and do Mido skip in Adult 1, because if it turns out to be like Saria's for Storms for like a 3-piece that's ZL locked in bottom of the well, getting Storms in Adult 1 could be really good. And if Saria's is actually path, then it's possible Minuet is locked away as well. So I think there's some opportunities to maybe extend the Adult 1 route when you wouldn't usually.
Yeah, and one of the nice things about Forest Temple being one of our, Forest Fire Water medallions, we are going to get a hint for that song, which could give us more information still.
That's true. The only downside to that is that the other 2 medallions of that group is Water and Spirit, which you don't want to see in a Blitz seed.
No,
at the same time, those dungeons require a lot of items, and so probably the only piece that could be affected by that would be the power piece, because Wisdom and Courage, like, there's just no way that a 5 could be locked behind Water, Spirit, a Song, and a Forest Medallion.
That's very true.
Right. It's just that does make Saria's a more likely path.
Claim check on Dompe. So, as many of you already know, for Blitz, there is nothing else besides the claim check. It is just the straight-up claim check. Will it be worth something? Usually not, but, it's there. And, of course, Renata takes a fireball to the face, as Dompe is wont to do.
Yeah, Renata hasn't been playing too frequently lately. So, I'm curious to see if his movement is, a little rusty.
Well, dodges that one at least, so that probably feels a little bit better, not gonna lie.
Yes, should be finishing down berries by the minute mark, no problem.
Also, I'm just gonna go ahead and call it out that here, when it comes to, like, the logic and the numbers, I am absolutely depending on the 2 of you for that.
That's why they got me here.
Yep.
Nocturne and Ice is dead. Rip Mel.
Oh. I mean, that would have been funny if you had called it at, like, literally, like, 2 minutes in.
Yeah.
Oh, Burning Cack is Song of Time.
No, I hate it.
Toilet! Toilet! Toilet!
That actually provides additional opportunities to potentially get the 13 out of Logic, because if Song of Time is actually the thing, then a lot of GTG checks are going to potentially end up Song of Time locked, and that's like the most likely place for it to be, so could actually make the seed even shorter.
Yep.
Alright, apparently I'm loud. Let me see if I can fix that up a little bit for you guys. Sorry to burn any eardrums.
That's not really new information, Deathstar.
I think it was the chance of toilet that may have done it.
Oh, so my normal voice is not really loud? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's just when you go to the bathroom.
I walked into that one. But I didn't walk into the bathroom. Anyway. Look, I played to the memes.
And looks like Egodev's gonna be showing us Adult River. I like this play after being burned by it a few times. Getting the information here and at least peeking what the items are if you don't know the glitchless jumps, very helpful.
We've been seeing a lot more early river plays in Blitz format, and I honestly really like it. I feel like just because of the logical settings, river has to get overlooked a lot in, I guess standard, I suppose, is the seed type I'm looking for. But was that a bow?
I think it's a bow.
I thought it might have been bomb shoes, but I couldn't tell. It could be a bow too.
Yeah, our preview is kind of small, so...
Yeah, I mean, 4 screens on a screen. There isn't really much I can do about that, I don't think.
No. I just was saying I'm having...
Oh, okay. Sorry. Also, do want to point out that this is game 2 for our pair on the right side. LittleMissRappa is in a win or lose situation. No kidding.
Elimination.
Thank you. That is the words I meant to say.
And Eco Egodev is showing us one of those glitchless setups. I go from the bottom rather than above. I don't have the ability to do nice clean ESS turns, so... And it is a bow. And Nath, going child already.
I'm actually gonna take my headset off real quick and try to sound check without having it go double in my ears, so I'll be right back.
I thought there's something really interesting about what Egodev did. He saved there, but he's not save quitting. I think that is to set time of day, so that if there's nothing in Upper River, he can scum time of day to maybe do a child shooting gallery and a dog lady while passing time at the castle getting the hint. That's a cool little optimization, and it doesn't really cost anything because all you have to do to set it up is save.
So CAC is also path to Courage.
Alright, just mic checking myself here real quick. Is that any better on normal volume for my voice? From chat.
Well, while Chad is getting back to you on that, we've seen our second CAC hint, and we're still waiting for like anything in CAC. So it makes it much more likely that it is in fact Saria's song now that's path, but then there's also something else that's probably path. Could be maybe adult shooting gallery or chickens or 10 skulls or something like that, but we're definitely missing at least one item there.
Yeah, Deku Tree being foolish. Nice hint. It is closed Deku in these settings.
I mean, have we heard the... Oh, yeah, well, no wonder I'm in a wind tunnel. I have a freaking fan in my face. Sorry. I wish that I'd known that, or I would have turned it off earlier. Anyway, that's off.
In a wind tunnel.
Yeah, I was. Anyway. What about 20 skulls? Have we seen that hint yet?
We have not.
Oh, that's also... Well, you said 10, but 20 is still possible, too.
20 being hinted will not be a path hint.
Oh, you're right.
Yep.
So
it won't be Song of Time that's hinted.
Egodev is actually going Kokiri as adult. I really like this play in this seed. I think it's really savvy because if it's like Storms or Requiem on Minuet, which it definitely could be, that's going to unlock like a really strong route to potentially pick up some early pieces in Child 1.
Oh, and big chest in Mido's. Choose?
Mido Provido?
For our foolish Deku. And fire arrows.
Thanks, Mido. Big help.
Thanks, Mido.
Also, I have been told that it is not so much that I'm in a wind tunnel, but I am just a wind bag. I just want to point that out, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Weasel. You know, honestly, a foolish Deku tree doesn't take that long. We've got a vanilla spawn, you just get back there, you climb up, you jump down, you get access.
Yeah, and you get some extra hints as well along the way. And so pretty much anything that you can route in that progresses the seed and also gives you hints is not a bad idea. Do you know what Dungeon Reward Deku Tree is?
We don't. It's one of the stones.
And Hyrule Castle Fairy is going to be foolish. Thanks, game. I hate it.
That's pretty on brand, though. Foolish and casual.
Speaking of stones, we actually do know that Deku and Dodongo are two of those. The third one is going to be fire, which everyone loves.
I hate fire. Hate it. Too long. It's annoying.
Oh.
I don't like fighting Evolve.
Egodev making quick work of that moblin, just making dodging that spear look trivial.
Yeah, and LittleMissRappa setting time of day here to go do Richard.
Also calling out the Mido skip from Renata.
Yep, I mean, if the game is telling you that you might need this, might as well. And it kind of looks like he might not know the lower river glitchless jump. Does not have that bow.
By the way, that was Water Temple Path.
Oh, great.
Oh, no.
Someone
That's
summoned
terrible.
Jax to find the DLC.
And suddenly, we actually need everything for water and Song of Time. And there is storms on Minuet.
Well, I feel
Interesting.
really smart now, having called that about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, right?
Mirror shield in the silo. Is that what we saw there?
Yep.
Oh,
A
fun.
nice, free, shiny shield after Nath went to all the trouble to buy one.
I mean, buy the shield and you'll be rewarded.
Ooh.
I love this play by Egodev as well, because he got the bow in River, and now he's going back to do Adult Shooting Gallery because he knows that CAC is double path. It's just little things like keeping track of all the information, because it's very tempting to tunnel on storms now that you have it, and it's pretty likely that Wisdom seems like it could easily be Zeal-locked in Well and nothing else, but knows he needs some path items from CAC, and if it's not here in Adult, then it's probably in Child.
Yep, and Renata going through the maze the intended way.
Hey, Ella, can I borrow you in the restream chat? I think you might have knowledge on something on a technical glitch here that you might be able to help us with. Never mind, I see a different password. We're good.
Adult shooting is nothing, so that is not our path. So we're kind of looking bomb-locked now. Bomb-locked or 10 skulls.
Yeah, we've also seen a ice cavern path, so that's going to give us probably some really strong information about where the power piece is. Normally, when ice cavern is path, it's for the song, and based on the songs that we have left, it's almost certainly like Epona's or Requiem. And if it's Requiem, well, take a guess as to where the song might be, or where the piece might be. But yeah, could potentially allow a big skip, because if a lot of those pieces are just on the route to get to Rudo's letter, then might be able to bypass a lot of that.
Yep, absolutely. I'm disappointed that it is not Nocturne in Ice Cavern, but I'll take
Was anyone
Ice
able to
Cavern for a song anyway.
Was anyone able to catch what that was in the waterfall? Obviously,
yeah.
Nath doesn't care enough, but I definitely, guess it wasn't anything then.
Yeah. I'm not sure, and we are seeing LittleMissRappa go into Deku Tree here. I don't believe she has gotten a copy of the Deku Tree Foolish Hint that was at Upper River, which she did not do. But we'll see if maybe the copy is back here.
Has Nath been to the Kikiri Forest yet? Has everyone gotten their Kikiri sword? Or doesn't look like he
Nath
has?
has not, but everyone else has.
Okay. There's Forest.
Power. Wow.
Someone call Baby Shark.
Is that Domain or River Foolish?
That was Domain.
Look at all these dungeons. There's such a ton of dungeons showing up path on power.
And back of Lake Hints.
This is actually a situation that's pretty challenging to deal with unless you're very experienced. I think the best way to play this is to try as hard as you can to find a way into Ice Cavern and maybe put off power as long as possible, because you just don't know how deep Rudo's is. And if you commit to like Ganon's, for example, and it just ends up being like a hook shot that leads to Iron Boots that leads to Rudo's, and then there's a bottle chilling somewhere, you could potentially be investing a lot of time in a route that is giving you like an item that you're not actually going to need.
Bolero on OoT.
Well, that's not something we're ever going to get.
Yeah, that's nice for Nat to have that information right away.
Kind of seems like the 3 dungeon songs are not going to be a factor this seed.
Mm-hmm.
Just based on the amount of dungeons we've seen show up path on power, it seems like it's probably a dungeon tour rather than a dungeon reward tour.
Mm-hmm. Yep, still need the one just for Ganon's, but I would be surprised. I wouldn't be too surprised, honestly. Like, if Song of Time is what these items start pointing us to, you might do a Rush GTG without all of the tools, just to get a feel for what's in there.
Yeah, it's definitely a low-risk play, especially just to peek Song of Time and then maybe bail. If you get a feeling like it's Epona's that's the song that's deep, or if you see it in Ice Cavern.
So, I was just told of a theory, and you probably have already said it, because let's be real, I'm doing a lot of tech stuff here and haven't been paying attention. So with Saria's on in Kakariko for that Path of Wisdom, granted there are other CAC checks we haven't seen yet, but with a Path 3 and Minuet on Epona's, doesn't that basically shout Dance Dad, just from what we have already?
Potentially.
Based on what we have, 2 paths, given that everything is hinted and we only know of 2 checks, Saria's is likely to be one of them.
That's true. Well, Anju's being very talkative today.
So, I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
You started with Lullaby, you've got Saria's, definitely do your Lost Wood, Skull Kid check, do your Dance Dad.
Yeah, the idea we came up with was first bomb bag on Dance Dad for Peace and DC, or Strength maybe. That was the idea.
Yeah, so I think Egodev and Renata are doing the right play. Doing the well is the right choice, pretty much no matter what. Even if somehow there's nothing there, you stand a decent chance of getting like some bomb shoes. It's really fast, and based on our path counts, it's really, really likely to have the wisdom piece. There's just so many ways that it can turn out good, and it's so low risk that you should be doing it every time.
Yeah, and it does look like Renata is going to take advantage of having access to bottom of the well. Last time I did comms, I said I like this play when you have ZL, even if you don't have bombs. If you don't have both, I don't know about that, but at least with chest size matches, or chest textures, excuse me. Matches
And
content, you get the info.
The well given Egodev a couple tickets on the Adalogic train here.
Yay, choose!
Yeah, that's really nice. So now even if the Triforce piece doesn't show up here, this allows the bottom of the well runners to potentially chase after the Dodongo's hint if they get that one.
You sure did hear break logic.
And I'm pretty sure I'm guarantee y'all said it earlier, but I just noticed it for the first time. Ice Path of Power. Any ice rushers in chat?
Oh, Eco. Ooh, big stabby.
You love to see that.
Yeah, Ela was saying earlier, go kind of when you have access. So make sure you've got your shield, a free bottle. And that is out of logic.
Yeah, it's really a combination of what Weasel and Electric GU said in chat. It is both bait and also huge quality of life on both of those. Because Choose and Big Stabby will make a lot of stuff a ton easier to do.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about Bottom of the Well, Mila, was it you who got really excited about key logic? Was that you or someone else that I was talking to?
Was that directed at me? Sorry, I had to take off my headset for a second.
Oh, someone was really excited about talking about Bottom of the Well key logic.
Probably wasn't me. I have a special route that I like to use for Bottom of the Well that I think is better, but it hasn't caught on yet, even though it should. But I don't think it's related to key logic necessarily. It's related to just peeking stuff.
Sure. Well, we're kind of getting an idea if there is a piece back here, if our wisdom piece, 3 steps, happens to be back here. ZL does lock that, as does Storms.
Second bow.
A bow, okay.
So, obviously, now that Rappa is on Goma, obviously now I'm remembering, oh right, you can just get a quick dungeon kill and go to IGC, which was hinted. So that's very obviously, and I'm sure, again, you said that earlier, but that's very obviously what they were doing here.
And a scale. A very nice pickup.
Do you like that?
Quality of life, but I was kind of expecting a Triforce Beast to show up, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I kind of was too, but I suppose there were no bomb-locked keys that we've seen yet.
This is a mistake by Egodev, because you can peek this through the wall, and then you don't have to burn the bomb shoes. He might have scummed them anyway, but he could have saved some time there. It's just you gotta know that you can do it.
Yep.
Alright, so will the Deku Tree be the actual vanilla stone, or will it be one of the other two? What's the call?
I think it'll just be vanilla, because why not? Nath also does not have the Deku Foolish hint, as far as I am aware. Is also choosing to go to Deku Tree. Yep. Yeah. The scale is 2 steps. And there's another key.
Dead hand key. Should have done the Ela route, would have worked out.
Yeah, I like doing the dead hand room last. I don't want to fight dead hand if I don't have to. But by the time I'm in the room, I just forget I'm counting keys anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like what is the odds? Like 3 out of 13, I think, that it ends up being a key. And if you route it, then you can make that check the last check that you do. And if it's a key, then you don't fight. You just leave.
Yep. And it was Goron Ruby. Tragically, not vanilla. Ooh. Please no.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
What? What happened?
Our Saria's song led us to a wallet on Skull Kid.
Oh, nice.
Crash.
Yeah, I'm not a believer on that, but imagine that we'll probably see just a standard child cleanup now from Egodev and Renata, as Renata's finishing up well. But the one nice thing about doing well early is that those bomb shoes are going to allow Egodev the ability to use the shortcut into Goron City. And so we might actually see Dancing Dad, because if it's there, and you have Saria's almost certainly path, like, you really ought to just do it just in case something silly happens.
Yeah, and...
Look, you actually got me to pay attention to a hint. Don't let it go to waste.
That bow, very nice for Renata. Won't have to make an extra trip back to the river to get that now. The mini nap is over for LittleMissRappa. Ocarina minigame is over.
Fun fact. If that check has a required item for a piece, that's -1 piece for me in any seed that I play.
Wait. Oh, you just don't do it. Got it.
Yeah, that's a skip by default check for me.
Fair. And Egodev gonna be able to show us Kokiri Forest Storms. And Renata setting up to do flame storage here. Wait. Was that bottom of the well to power?
That was DMT power.
DMT.
Kind of makes me wonder if it's not the storms check, because I still think the most likely scenario is that it's Saria's for storms, but nothing has really shown up on storms that's convincing. So it could be that.
It can't be Saria's for storms, because Minuet was on Malin.
Ah.
So
Then...
our SFM access is fully fully available. No steps there.
Curse you, Forerunners, and all your information.
By the way, I'm going to give a quick shout out. I know it's a little bit before our time, but we have a ton of volunteers, and we'll give them a shout out a little bit later as well. But you cannot track all the information in 4 runners doing this at once without a lot of people behind you. So, shout outs to you guys, and thank you.
Yes, thank you, trackers. And Baseball. Special shout out to Baseball, who is double race monitoring for us.
And as also a tracker. Triple duty. But yes, we'll do the proper shout out later. I just wanted to call that out because, yeah, I signed up to do this restream and then realized, oh, that's probably a terrible idea. Help.
It's all good. We're all having fun here.
Yeah, but when do I ever think things through?
And was that Crater?
That was Death Mountain something is foolish.
Yeah, I was a Crater foolish, so...
Yeah, and Trail is Path.
Jax, that was great.
Yeah, Serenade or, I don't think we've seen Prelude yet, but maybe we have. Could be Serenade or Prelude. That's nice. I hate routing in Crater personally, especially in these settings. It just feels bad if you don't have Bolero, and makes sense. It's on OoT. Like, it's nice not to have to make that not play.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Serenade in the Crater.
Oh, Prelude is that, sorry. Thanks. Thanks,
oh,
everyone.
Serenade in the Crater. Oh boy, so our budget Prelude as a child is locked by hovers or a hook?
Yes, but we have real Prelude, apparently.
Oh, we do? Nice. Oh, I should probably also move the audio tracker.
The seed has been uncommonly generous, seeing as they've given us Water Path, and also Serenade is not hidden behind 3 dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to press a button. You guys tell me if it messes with your view of it through the Discord stream.
Oh, it's big again.
Oh, cool. So apparently just turning studio mode back on does that. Wonderful. I love OBS. I totally understand everything I'm doing about it.
We just didn't know.
Right? That's kind of the story of my life, isn't it? Oh,
Womp
that's...
womp.
Uh-oh. What'd I just grab?
And LittleMissRappa, unfortunately, doesn't have Storm, so doesn't have explosives yet, which, honestly, it's kind of looking like maybe that's what's in Ganon's is our bomb bag.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's going to stop her, because she's running up DMT as child.
Yeah.
And if you're coming up here, then I imagine this ends in Darunia somehow.
Yeah, what was on top there?
I couldn't see it. I don't know if Rapper could see that either.
Link is so short at this age. Come on, grow up. Chop chop. It's a song away. Very nice little peek that you can do here. Oh, and it's big. No. Very nice setup around. Oh, it's a free shield. It's not the really shiny free shield, but it's a free shield.
I mean...
Yeah, we take those.
We take those.
Did we just find bombs on Egodev's side? Was that bomb-locked bombs?
Bombs in Lostwood Grotto, so
yeah, potentially.
Bomb or hammer.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's great. That means Egodev can show us one of the 2 remaining checks that's our possible path.
Mm-hmm. So that's Redate Grotto. And, of course, well, we did see 20 was dead. Okay, so it's this or 10 for whatever the second CAC hint is, right?
Yes. Yeah, Egodev also has Storms, is in a really great position here. There's that bomb bag for Renata as well. Their route just working out a little better than Natheirean and LittleMissRappa. But, you know, a little less than an hour and a half left. No one has any pieces, so doesn't mean a whole lot until the first player finds a piece.
Big chest,
It's a
so
big chest.
I'm guessing hook shot.
Spoiler log. And a strength.
Who
a
said that?
vanilla Strength.
Who said that one was there?
I think you might have.
I think I did.
You said something on Dance Dad.
I first said it was bomb bag, but then I'm like, wait, it could also be a strength for Dodongo's Cavern.
Yep.
But to be fair, I will give credit for the idea of it being there to my roommate who was watching. But I claimed the item, so there. But yeah, that's vanilla. Nice.
Yep. Vanilla Strength, a bomb bag. Gonna chase that storms a little more. Go do Frogs 1, it looks like. Which, you know, whatever. You've got Nocturne, it's easy enough to get back, and you might even be able to get 10 Skulls.
So this adds a lot of complications. There's just like a lot of headaches for what this strength could point to. That's 3, because you got to assume that it's CAC for. Well, it's probably CAC for Saria's, and then also for that strength 1. But I guess what else do we have as 3? Like, what if the strength is? I mean, we could have the classic like three path for light trial. That's not unthinkable with what we know.
Mm-hmm. I am curious if Renata follows the scale or the bombs right now. And Nath gonna play Minuet, go get that storms.
And to make a Shanix point in chat even better, ZL Sariasm strength is 3, but we also know that DC is going to have one of the items for courage, which is part of that 5. Unless my math is completely dumb.
Courage is 5.
Yeah, that's what I said, didn't it? Didn't I?
Yeah, I'm just reading.
Oh, okay. Phew. I was like, did I just, like, say the wrong one?
No, it's not 3. But that hook shot is a very good contender for one of the other pieces. It just depends. Is it for wisdom? Or is it for courage?
It's just kind of weird to see a strength 1 show up as path behind 2 songs, and then also be on a really short path. Because strength 1 often doesn't lock a whole lot. Maybe it could be for like Deep Forest if it were just strength 1, but usually the dungeon checks are locked behind 2 strengths. So if one of them is path, the other one's probably path 2.
Yeah,
It's just confusing.
Dodongo's path to courage. It makes a lot of sense to find like a vanilla bomb bag in there.
Can
And
two?
at,
Sorry.
oh, go ahead.
Can I was reading Weasel's comment about 2 pieces in DC. Is that possible with a 3 and a 5?
Unlikely.
Well, Egodev's about to get a strength.
It's not impossible. I would not be surprised to find a piece,
Yeah, for sure.
honestly. But I would be surprised to find. I mean, you're gonna hear me say I hate this game if it ends up being a hammer in there for that bomb bag and there's 2 pieces in there, because that's just
I mean, if we're really talking about it, I will tell you that before the restream even starts.
insane. But it could happen. LittleMissRappa having to wait for some time of day here, fighting some skeletons. Gonna go touch some chickens. Yeah, everyone sound off. I've been personally victimized by Ocarina of Time, specifically Randomizer. Ooh, Fortress Foolish, love it.
No HBA.
My favorite.
But you know what we're not seeing? We're not seeing GTG Foolish.
No, I mean, GTG.
Nor do you
Foolish
usually.
makes a lot of
I know.
Sorry, GTG having a piece makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So the reason that I don't think it's necessarily like hammer and DC for 2 pieces, um, it could be hammer and DC for maybe 1 piece, but I think it's just hard for. Oh, there's 1 piece.
Natheirean is on the board.
Oh, that's a prediction payout.
That is a Dorito on the compass chest.
Okay, so that tells us a lot because that means that all bomb bags are strength 1 locked, as well as hammer.
Oh,
and
silver gauntlets.
And there's strength 2 that's bomb and or hammer locked.
And that was, I'm sorry, Nath had the Dorito?
Yes.
Alright, Red
I
gets
wonder
some
if-
bucks.
I wonder if strength 3 shows up in DC.
And of course, as Baby Shark isn't here right now, it is my job to legally remind you guys to post your silver gauntlets emotes in your chat if you have them right now, or spend some points to unlock them.
I guess that'd be kind of unlikely because we have to have a hookshot path almost certainly. So, what's hookshot going to be for? Well, unclear.
I mean, unfortunately, forest isn't deep enough at that point. It's not going to be there. Oh, Shadow 1. Oh no.
That's
Oh,
a,
I
that's
think
a-
being on Path to Power does not negate it also being on Path to Courage. It just means it's hinted.
first bomb bag alert, French vanilla into Dongo's cavern.
Yay, French vanilla bombs.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the exact reason why I thought it was unlikely for there to be 2 pieces in Dodongo's. Because even if there's a logical bomb bag here, this puts the rest of Dodongo's cavern at 4 instead of 5. And we also need the hookshot for something, so it's probably bomb bag for hookshot, most likely. And then maybe hookshots are 5.
It's absolutely a fun thought, and that's, you know, the entire fun of these things, is these possibilities and memes are great. It's not dumb, that's the whole point of it. I mean, or if it is, but it's not like a bad thing. Like, I love
Milo
these.
left us.
It's fine, he came back to us.
Yeah,
And
you're
this-
going to see that a few times, I think.
Yeah, and it's not my fault for, like, moving someone into the containment zone or anything like that.
Ela wasting precious vacation time here with us. Shout out to Ela.
It's not wasted. We're having a good time.
Having a good time. LittleMissRappa making quick work of collecting skulls compared to everyone else at 9 currently.
I mean, they know that 10 skulls is a possibility. I mean, I don't know if they've done chickens yet, but it was back to one of those too.
Yeah, I think most of them have done chickens at this point. Renata going to die to... Nope, okay. Survived.
That would have been a first.
I have definitely never died to that thing before. Well,
Not that one.
We have seen Wanderer though. We have 2 bows that don't lock each other.
See ya, big lizard.
I
So I
don't
think-
think forest is that deep though. Is it?
Yeah, it is that deep because
Oh right, ZL Saria, strength, hook.
yeah. So oftentimes when you find a Triforce piece somewhere, it actually helps just check your math because now we know that that strength 1 is the 3rd item, and that means that the bomb bag in Dodongo's cavern has to be the 4th item, and that also means that the hookshot in CAC has to be the 5th item. So whatever the piece is, it's just locked by that hook as the last path item. So Forest is probably the top of the list for locations for that. It could potentially be Ganon's as well, but most likely Forest.
Yeah, Ganon's was speaking to me like Shadow 1, Spirit 1 or 2, like, you know, getting a little spicy with it, but I'm sorry, I don't know what stone it was. It was a stone. So, like I was saying earlier, it seems like Renata's routing was going to be better in the long run, and yet it is Nath on the board with our wisdom piece. And we'll see what they each do next. But Renata also has not completed a dungeon to go IGC. Strength 2 is currently what we know to be on the path to power.
That was Trail, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. And we should... So if we're pretty sure, like, Courage is Visities enhances in Forest, we can start to think about power as well. And I think it's a little bit telegraphed. The fact that 2 strengths are path is kind of a giveaway, especially with the Ice Cavern path sitting out there as well. Because we talked about earlier, like, what could be path in Ice Cavern? Well, it's almost certainly Epona's or Requiem. And, yeah.
It's Requiem. Yeah, in addition to that, so if you've got... Excuse me. So our Goron City... So you start... What was the starting song? That was ZL, right?
Yes.
And Saria's was in Kakariko, in Path, which takes you to Goron City for Danstad to get your Strength 1. Which takes you to Dodongo's Cavern for your Bomb Bag, which gets you Trail for Strength 2. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of cut and dry there. Even I can follow that chain.
Until boom, claim check.
I mean, why would you do this to me? Why? Why would you do this to me? To be fair, it's hilarious, but why would you do this to me?
So, Ela, maybe you could explain something that I've had trouble wrapping my head around. Every path item, provided there are enough, like, hint spots, is hinted, correct? So, like, if we get a trail double, there is something else. But the fact that it's not currently pretty much means it's that strength.
Yeah, there's no way to know, like, 100%, because power is 13, so technically there's probably going to be 1 or 2 locations on the path that don't get hinted just because of the sheer numbers. But the fact that Bomb Bag is locked kind of in a linear fashion means that the overlap between all the paths is pretty much guaranteed. Like, surely we're going to need bombs on power, right? Like, you can't even imagine it not, so...
Oh no, put it away.
Yeah, put that back.
That was a rang.
Jabu not hinted foolish, but is always foolish.
Question in general. Items that you start with. In this case, for example, your starting song. Can they be? Are they? There's Renata with the DC piece. Can the starting items be part of your steps?
So they will not ever be hinted with a hint stone, but they are counted as part of the number.
Okay.
Letter.
Wait, was that letter or just a bottle? I didn't pay attention.
Was that letter or a bottle on Bonshu Bowling?
I thought I
they're
saw...
both about the same level of importance, because bottle would let us get into ice, and letter would let us get into ice, because we have Zeal already, so...
Yeah, like...
We should call Tobias to find out.
Yeah, we don't really care what bottle it is, just whether or not that scale might be... nice.
Well, the scale is not going to affect the logic at all, because we have the bomb bag already, but that is just a bottle, but good enough.
Turn it in. Yeah, empty bottle, we go in ice! I am surprised that Egodev has not gone DC yet.
Yeah, but this might end up working out. So sometimes it's actually okay if you think that you're going to have enough time to get all 3 pieces to just be like as efficient as possible early on, because really you just need to get all 3 pieces as efficiently as possible if you're going to get all 3. So it doesn't really matter how fast you get the first 2, as long as you're just max efficiency. So that can be a play.
Magic. Gross. Ooh, and with bows and
Forest Path of Power for magic. When
it
Strength
is
2 was on
spirit.
Path of Power.
It
Smells
is
a lot
spirit.
like Team Spirit.
There you
That
go.
Smells like spirit key logic. I hate it.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna have to. I'm doing it. Anyone need 7 pages of reading?
No, I'm good.
Didn't think so. I mean, let's be real.
I've read this document many times, and I still like miss things every single time.
I can tell you I have not, and I would much rather get completely overwhelmed by this random Zelda philosophy book.
For what it's
We
worth,
will
like,
know.
it's not actually that bad. The reason that it's so horrible is because it accommodates for like key sanity and things like that we never run into in the more standard rule sets. But really, the way you should just think about spirit key logic is there's the 8 checks that are kind of, there has to be like 3 keys in those first 8 checks. And that kind of unlocks the rest of the dungeon. And then there's 2 magic checks, and then obviously the 2 child checks, and there's like some minor requirements for some of the child ones and the adult ones. But if you just think of it as 3 key locked and not 3 key locked, that will help you cover like 90% of the silliness.
It's the like really fringe logic that gets me. Like, oh, if all 5 keys are available, then doing map chest torches as a child suddenly is fine. They expect you to do that without magic. Like, what?
I had a legendary cursed seed a really long time ago in S3 where the child climb requires both ranged weapons for adult and child.
Yes, I hate that one.
And I had a path bow that made no sense, and it was to do child climb, even though Spirit Temple was key locked behind child. And so like you needed a bow, but the only reason you needed a bow was to be able to get access to child climb so you could do it as child.
Yep. Yeah, and it's so interesting because that room, it doesn't matter if you actually have the keys on adult side to do it. It still logically expects you to have. And like bombs count, bow, hook, bling, boomerang, all of these things.
It's just one of those things where you got to read the rules. Don't think about the rules. Just read the rules and accept that that's what the logic is. Because if you try to assume that there's some sort of like rationale for it, you're just going to get it wrong and you're going to get frustrated.
Yep. And so Nath failed out of forest after pushing the blocks, which I like. Getting into Ganon's, saying, you know what, this magic, it's fine.
It's going to be Ruto's though.
Yeah, it's going to be Ruto's because why? But I would say the trickiest thing there is when do you talk yourself back into going to forest? Like, is it quickly or do you rush GTG?
I think you always do forest first because it's also path. So it's kind of like might as well.
There it is! I called it!
I will refrain from commenting on that one.
See, that's why I like the Bale.
All right.
These are much faster, more condensed hookshot lock checks.
Now, Renata's not far behind entering GTG now, but at the same time, Renata does have to find all 3 at this point to beat Nath.
Yes. And neither of them has a bottle yet. So it'll be interesting which one of them does find a bottle first. And where were our ice hit? Oh, Deku Tree and SFM. So, not a problem. They both know where they should go next. Nath does not have all of the tools. Does not have a strength 2 yet. Meanwhile, Renata needs to go to forest to get that magic still. But that's just a minuet away. It was very early.
That's actually a really crazy location for Courage. I was super surprised to see it there. I would have expected it in this next room.
Renata doesn't have the hook shot yet.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, at least he's going to be able to see it. So he probably will come back for it. But yeah, that's really unfortunate. But the fact that that check had the Triforce keys actually tells us about the location of the other items. So obviously, Song of Time, we know that that's hookshot locked. That's not telling us a whole lot. But it actually means that hovers, I believe, have to be hookshot locked as well.
Interesting. Yep, I suppose. Can you get that with just hovers?
I think you can, but I'm not sure. My tracker always tells me that you can, but I don't know if it's real or not.
Rapid just pulled out their first bomb bag in Dodongo's Cavern, so they're probably going to continue and finish that place up, which would... I mean, there's the tie game. They're both in Dodongo's Cavern, which I totally noticed beforehand. Anyway,
yes.
I got
technically ahead, but does not have that hook.
Yeah.
We'll see if he thinks to go back and do Redead Grotto.
Well, now that they got bombs, I mean, it might happen.
Yeah, I mean, you're dropped at the bottom of the mountain. I assume, is she actually at 9 skulls and not 10?
Also, they do have Nocturne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the grave.
Yeah, but I mean, you're dropped closer to Redead Grotto than Nocturne would for you.
Yeah, so I think Shanak puts it the best. Ego is about 2 minutes behind or so, but they have a lot of extra items that will make up that time once DC is done.
Right.
I really do like we're seeing different routes, different styles from literally all 4 players here, and this is really quite great, even though I can't follow all the things that are happening. I really am enjoying what I'm seeing here.
I really think that this seed is going to come down to which players just figure out where power is as quickly as possible. LittleMissRappa, like, even though she doesn't have as many items as Egodev, she's going to almost certainly pick up this hook right after Dodongo's Cavern, because you generally just do the Redead chest in CAC right after, and she's got bombs. So it's just a matter of where do you go from there? Does she decide to do the Ganon's path or try to go to Forest? I mean, they're both paths, so you couldn't really argue with either choice, but maybe this is going to come down to that second piece and setting that tiebreaker.
Yeah, Renata doing child market checks, though, while Natheirean is headed into bottom of the well. This is great for Renata because this means that he's going to get that bottle. Just really needs to remember that Redead Grotto to kind of have even footing here. LittleMissRappa turning in 10 and hopefully getting that hook shot. Egodev will probably have a bit of an advantage, assuming he just preludes and goes to Ganon's.
Also, I don't know if you all saw it, but we just saw the bottle again from Renata's side, and it was just a normal bottle, not Rudo.
Yeah, which is actually better than Rudo, to be honest.
Yeah, because then it's empty and you can put blue fire in it.
Well, it's also, like, our runners want Rudo to be deep so that they can skip a bunch of stuff. So the fact that they haven't found Rudos and they've got a bottle to be able to bypass logic increases the chances for them to get what is otherwise a very deep power piece, eventually with a lot less items.
Oh no, Renata! Come on! There you go! Made me a little nervous there, not gonna lie.
Yeah, 3 left.
Yeah. Nath now doing the well catch-up that the others did earlier, while Ego finishes up DC. So it's... they're all kind of converging on the same paths, which obviously you should when there's a specific logic involved.
Oh no.
But...
Rappa, going child, just played Prelude, didn't do that cleanup in CAC as adult.
Might be just setting up to do it on the way to well. So might still get it. We'll see what happens here.
That's true. They can do both of those checks regardless of age, and well is a valid, and as we saw earlier, a good play.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that play. It's just very unfortunate given what we know. Excuse me.
That was a
Given
sound
what we know.
from Nath.
Alright, Renata walking out with that bottle. Still no hook shot. Egodev. Possibly doing a little skull hunting here. Oh no. Getting a hug. Free hugs. Not sure why we're walking out of market. Maybe we're doing those out of logic.
No, this is certainly ice.
And that's Ego going to the castle for sure, which puts Rappa in a precarious position.
Sir? Oh, Renata skipped Lon Lon Ranch? Dang. It's like you have Minuet.
Apparently not.
Renata does not have Minuet.
Well, I mean, it's not the end of the world, honestly. Like, if they never need to play Minuet after this moment because they get Requiem.
Yeah, absolutely.
But by the way, where was the Courage piece? Was in Water Trial?
It's in Shadow 1.
Shadow 1.
Yeah, this could like be a surprise time save for Renata because Forest Temple, there's a decent chance that it's bait, and so not getting Minuet makes it actually pretty inconvenient to go to Forest. So if Renata just never goes to Forest, maybe they choose to go Ganon's first. Well, they still need to hookshot before that happens, but
yeah. So that hookshot is really worrying me. Not specifically because of that piece, but Spirit? Have we done the math on where Spirit would be? Because we do still have an unfulfilled water path to power, and I am starting to think maybe that Deep Shadow is looking more and more likely. It's just a really long chain to get there.
if that's the case, then we should see Dins and Hovers show up at some point, and also a Nocturne path. So I'm pretty skeptical about Shadow, to be honest. I think it's almost certainly Spirit, based on the magic that we saw in Forest Temple. Keep in mind that we know that Rudo's is going to be path wherever it ends up, but we still have it missing in action, and we know that Iron Boots also have to be path, and those are missing in action. So yeah, we're missing some things.
So I just noticed a thing, and I'll go with my standby of I don't know if you guys have said it already. Water path to power, forest path to power. Those are the forest and fire medallions, and things are pointing towards Spirit, which is the water medallion. Requiem for Child Spirit on Burning Cack?
Burning Cack is Song of Time, so that would just be GTG at that point, which very possible. The water path at this point, if we are still looking for Rudos, which we are, I mean, it kind of has to be that unless we find our golds in there for something else in Ganon's, because we didn't find a path item in Ganon's. Obviously, Ice Cavern can't have our Rudo's letter, because it's locked by Rudo's letter. Oh, Rappa, no.
So I'm a little skeptical that it's Song of Time, simply because with 13 total paths, and we know that there's like a whole overlap, and we know that ZL is one of them. So that means there's a maximum of 2 items in the entire seed that are path that aren't hinted, and we know where Mirror is already, if I remember correctly. So if we need to beat Spirit, Mirror is almost always going to be in a hinted location, and the fact that it's not should make us really skeptical that we need it.
Yeah, so I will point out we do apparently have a graveyard path to power, and the only thing we found there was Nocturne.
Well, that's interesting.
So, oh no, Nath.
Could be like the classic early Shadow one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just wondering if maybe our hovers are in water or in Ganon's and our Dins is in the other one. And Ice Cavern. Oh, Ice Cavern could be Sunsong.
No, I mean the classic would be Ice Cavern is path for an item and not a song.
But Sunsong Path would just be amazing.
Yeah, but we're running into to counting issues. Like,
Yeah.
there's the information has to be so strong. There's so few items that are unhinted that there's just not a whole lot of room for shenanigans of that level. If it were 18 instead of 13, then yeah.
Yep. So if our golds are here, for example, our gold gauntlets, that should tell us that it is Rudo's and Ganon's and we don't need to go back there. In which case, that's really bad for Renata. Because why do you go inside Ganon's castle for a path item?
Well, he's got to manage his information correctly. It's pretty simple, right? Like, Cac is double path, and he should know that he's only found one thing there, and you just have to keep clearing stuff until you figure it out. And also, those are 2 items on the really early paths, so if he doesn't find the hook, it's kind of on him.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump in here because we have been here for over an hour, and I want to go ahead and give another shout out to the people behind the scenes here, because we've got 4 great runners for you, as you see in chat. I've linked their individual channels: Renata, Skyferret, Natheirean, Rappa, LittleMissRappa, and of course Egodev. I'm hoping we'll get the chance to thank them for putting on the show for us later and dealing with our double race shenanigans, but we'll see. And then of course, we've got a whole mess of people. Let's see if it actually shows everybody here. We did it! All 5 of them! Woohoo! We've got Veva, Ronin Traveler, Shannik, Too Shy, and This Isn't Baseball. All pressing all the buttons, making the things light up, keeping the notes, so that, well, let's be real, so that at least Elagatua and melqwii know what they're talking about, because I sure as fuck don't.
We've reached that point.
What was that?
I said we get to drop F-bombs now. We've reached that point.
I mean,
Hell Knight's sleeping.
Hell Knight's sleeping.
One, I don't know if he's sleeping, but he definitely said he wouldn't be here. And 2, I mean, we've gotten one away with one every now and then. Anyway, speaking of melqwii and Elagatua, thank you guys for doing the actual important comms here and putting up with me coming and joining you for memes. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, it's good fun. I'm very excited to see where this last piece ends up. I'm pulling for, I'm still pulling for Shadow.
I like memes.
I mean, you know exactly where I'm hoping for. I know it's very unlikely at this point, but what is a meme if not a dream?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying toilet's out of the running.
I am.
Look, I don't think those are words you want in the same sentence with a toilet being in or out of the running. No? Okay, well, I tried.
We're just gonna let that one air out a little bit.
Thank you, Ella.
Rappa? Doing the thing? Yes, this will be a hookshot for LittleMissRappa.
Also, I apologize in advance if you hear the wind tunnel again. I am turning my fan back on.
Like I said, airing it out.
Oh no. What's happening?
See, I can do banter too.
Forest Temple is also hold up. Forest Temple is also Wanderer?
Wait,
Yeah,
what
it
else
makes me
besides
pretty
magic
sus
did
of
we
that
see
magic.
there? Did we see anything besides the magic there?
no, there's probably something else there. And Rappa's getting the hookshot finally. So what's the play, Rappa?
What if...
I didn't see it. Did they turn in 10 skulls?
No. They might now, though.
I'm glad they did that before deciding what their next play was, to be honest.
So Ice had no items. It was for Requiem all along.
So I'm pretty sure it's going to be Path Irons and Forest, and this going to be Wanderer Magic. Seeing Requiem show up, I mean, surely it's going to be Spirit, right? Like, surely? Weird Path for Rudos.
Don't like it, but I suppose. Irons and Ganons for Rudos and...
I am legally obligated to stand against logic by posting that command.
Oh, Renata just kind of falling into worse and worse position here, unfortunately. No hookshot, no mirror shield, no minuet to get into Forest quickly.
I wonder if Renata maybe wrote down the hints wrong and didn't realize that Cac is on 2 separate paths.
Oh!
Possible. And there are hovers.
Does that actually delay Renata going back for the hook? I think it might.
We don't have Dins though, but if hovers do give you access to Shadow 1 here...
Yeah, I guess I'm finally going to learn whether you can do it with hovers or not. This is great.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here.
I mean, Renata seems to be going for it, so... Yeah. 3 of our runners now with Silver Gauntlets.
Sometimes you just need some gloves.
You know what's really fascinating is if Renata gets this piece here and then goes back to Spirit, he may not actually ever need the hookshot.
Yeah, it's possible. Might need the mirror shield.
But I'll tell you what they do need. I know Renata needs at least... Renata needs 8 more rupees, and Rappa needs to spend 1. And Egodev needs to pick that one up. There you go. 69 average between the two of them. GG.
So much going on, and still
Nice.
we have to count at nice rupees? Please.
Have you met me?
This just means that there's not enough for you to be doing right now.
And let's be real, if I was supposed to be doing something, it's not like I'd be able to pay attention to it anyway. Oh no, Renata.
So you must have to, like, double roll here. Yeah, you got this. Roll, roll. Nice.
Great, now I know how to do it.
Now I know how to do it. And there is piece number 2 for Renata. Is still behind. We'll need to find that 3rd piece to take this game 1. And LittleMissRappa also about to get that same piece. Again, still behind. This will be an elimination if LittleMissRappa can't find that 3rd piece first. Egodev, unfortunately for LittleMissRappa, already in Ice Cavern and with Strength 2. And Mirror Shield.
Yeah, it does feel like this has all been leading up to Rudos to get to Ice Cavern to get Requiem. And I'd be pretty surprised not to see the piece in Spirit, but I mean, this is going to be really interesting because Natheirean jumped out to kind of that early lead, but now Renata has a chance to get into into Spirit rather, missing the hookshot, but with the potential, depending on the key layout, to get a lot of checks here and potentially steal this one away in a nice comeback.
Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of holding out for me. That graveyard path, likely for Nocturne. I might chase that, but I don't know that Renata actually read that hint.
I was just having that same thought that if that's not Nocturne, it was just a bait. That Sun Song would tell us that information right there.
Well, right, that Sun Song being out there, the hovers being out there, like crossing Small key, you don't have a hook shot. Renata, if you watch this back, I'm sorry.
I mean, that's not stopping them, and all power to them.
Oh.
There's just a lot of potential for weird stuff to happen that we don't know about. Like, I think we're kind of tunneling on Graveyard a little bit. Like, yeah, it could be Nocturne, but it could also be something silly. Like, it could even be potentially Long Shot that's magic locked.
Zora
or
Tunic.
something in or I mean, probably not Zora Tunic, but maybe like Irons or, you know, Nocturne. One of the missing ones.
Go to Sunstone Grave. That's not the thing you should be doing. You should be going and doing Redead Grotto. Yeah, so the Sunstone Grave I'm kind of hung up on because I can't count, and I haven't been counting, no matter how many times you reiterate it for me. I'm so sorry.
Well, for Sunsong Grave, keep in mind that Sunsong is a song leading to a check. And so if that was the answer, then there's a very high chance that Colossus would be hinted somewhere, and we haven't seen that. So mark me down as skeptical again of that. I do think it just could be in the Composer Grave, though.
We saw that, though. It was nothing.
Never mind, then. I don't know. I just find it really hard to imagine that Hovers is Path. If it is actually Shadow, then I think it's got to be, like, Dins for, like, one of the first two checks.
Right.
Unless we're just missing the hints.
Neil, there was a whole piece in IGC.
Yes, we have found nothing in IGC, so we know Strength 3. Oh, this might be hard.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry, I got it. My bad. I'm tired.
If this is our golds or our irons to kind of complete the missing items.
I just worry that we're going to get out of sequence here and end up finding a giant path for our letter and run out of time.
And it is Nocturne.
Well, then that leaves the question of where is Dins? Because we have a Requiem hard path as well. So you'd have to imagine that that's the end of the chain, or at least close to it.
Yeah. Requiem for our hovers, and the other hookshot probably in Shadow at that point, you would think. Which probably means it's Strength 3 in water. But where are the irons then? Irons in Forest, you said. So Irons in Forest is our actual path for our Strength 3 in water for our Dins and Ganons. But we don't know where the letter is then. Ah!
Yeah, and if those hovers are actually necessary, then I want to know why Colossus wasn't hinted. I mean, it's just possible that it's just bad luck, right? But yeah, I mean, it's possible it's literally just Colossus access for hovers, but I don't know. I'm not super convinced, and it's not a matter of it being impossible. It's just the odds seem slim, or relatively slim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess I, again, don't know quite enough about some of this logic. So Kakariko was hinted on both Path of Wisdom and Courage. Both of which, as we suspect, are also on the path to power. But yeah, I mean, at 13 steps, that's still 2 to 3, starting with ZL, so unhinted. That's still 2 unhinted ones, right? Just by math.
Yeah, so there's going to be 2 that are unhinted, but it just... I mean, we haven't chased down all our paths, so I understand that, but it's just weird that if it... I mean, it probably has to be Shadow at this point, just because of the fact that Nocturne is Path, but it would be super troll to have a 13 path leading to Shadow, where Dins and Hovers were the unhinted path items. That's kind of dumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very unfortunate.
Normally, when I start assuming things like that, I tend to think that I'm understanding the seed wrong rather than it just being like a really weird edge case. And usually that's a decent way to think about it.
It's true. The bot doesn't really know what's important or not. It's more concerned.
Wait, so the bot and I share our logical knowledge of this setting? We don't know what's important or not?
No, because the bot crafts the logic.
I got a real...
Yeah, craft and crapping the logic are two different things.
Alright, I got a real question here.
Uh-oh.
Have we seen a second slingshot?
We saw one on the graveyard ledge.
Have we seen a second slingshot?
I have no idea.
Oh, you're right. There's a slingshot there. Disgusting.
But I am willing to put money on the fact that that was a slingshot in the graveyard ledge.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it was.
Okay, cool.
We're not child locked. We're not hard child locked out of spirit. There was a key. Renata couldn't get it because of the hook shot.
So all I'm saying is that it doesn't have to be Nocturne.
Oh, Shannick, why would you say that? Oh, man. Get the bean,
Throwing it out
graveyard, target in the woods.
Iron Boots on target in woods, anybody?
Why? I'll take
Yeah,
I'll take reasons Jax won't want to watch the seed for 500, Alex.
Yeah, it would exclusively be that check, though. Because
Yes, it would
there was
be.
a boomerang on child fishing. Oh, we haven't
Ew.
seen Adult Link yet.
It takes a long time to develop a kind of spidey sense for when things seem wrong, and it's been going off for me this entire seed, and there's just got to be something silly. I think maybe we're just missing a really important hint. Like, that's always possible. I don't know if we have all 10 yet, but
We do have all 10. We have all 5.
From the sheet, it looks like we do.
yeah. So I don't know. I
We
just
have 2 completely unresolved ones. We have no idea what's in water, and we have no idea what's actually in Ganon's castle.
Renata is starting
Renata
to think
kind
the
of
way I think.
Yep.
Kind of unfortunate, actually, not having that boomerang. If you were suspicious about the slingshot and had the boomerang, that would actually save a lot of time, because planting the bean is horrifically slow.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie though, if I was Renata, I would have been in Spirit Temple like a long time ago.
Well, he went as far as he could.
He's got the hook now.
He has the hook now. So, I mean, it's very possible that what he does is pick up the slingshot as a just in case and then go straight back to spirit.
Yeah.
So one thing you said earlier was Mirror Shield not being hinted kind of makes you think maybe not spirit, though.
Well, no, it wouldn't be like for Song of Time, especially. I think it still could be Spirit. It's just not locked by Mirror Shield.
Okay.
Alright, Renata going back to... Oh, right, obviously go child, duh.
Yep. Gonna do target in the woods quick. Probably do child spirit while he's at it.
Yeah, and I think this actually potentially just could be a slingshot for Child Spirit. Renata doesn't know that the Rang is available, so maybe he's thinking that that's what it is. It's for it's a slingshot for Spirit Key Logic, and he's committing to that rather than targeting Woods.
I have another question. Do we have an actual, like, count of how many items we found at this point? Because I know we're looking for 13, but I am totally lost.
We have ZL, Zarya for a strength. For a bomb bag. For a hook. We know that we need Rudo's letter. And we got Requiem.
We need irons too.
We need irons. And we need a strength 2 and a strength 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10. I hate this room. Alright, LittleMissRappa picking up Serenade there.
Could actually be strength 3 on target in woods. That seems a little bit plausible to me, because based on everything we know, I mean, we know that bombs are going to lock that slingshot, so that would still fulfill the idea of all strengths locked by bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this may not matter because we've got Egodev in Adult Spirit now. Going to be showing us some new checks and going to see if my Spidey sense is worth its weight in nickels.
Yes.
Speaking of your Spidey sense being worth its weight, you should enjoy a picture I just posted in the off-topic part of the Silver Gauntlets Discord. It's pretty relevant to this.
Alright. Renata gonna opt to go back adult. Says, I got my Ganon's piece. It's just letter in there. Or irons for letter and water. Because this game is bad. Magic. Oh. Ooze. The bait.
It's always so stressful when you're the runner. You're thinking every big chest could be my ticket to the next round.
I know. I love the suspense that it builds, but I feel bad for the runners.
Yeah.
Especially because you're like, please just let this be done.
Right, and the good news about that is they only have to put up with 34 more minutes at max. The rough part is, even just doing normal seeds, let me turn off my fan so I'm not in my wind tunnel. Even just doing normal seeds, you always have that problem of, am I just going the complete wrong direction? And when you have these sort of like speed logic type things, it's just so much worse. And I guarantee you, at least half of our runners on stream right now are thinking that, oh, probably not actually, but, you know, it's just the thought of, am I going the complete wrong direction? Did I miss something? Should I have found something else by now? You know?
Yeah. So, Mirror Shield, are we sure that's not required? Oh yeah, Fire Arrows and Magic. But Magic we think is Wanderer. Which would also mean a bow. But bow is also Wanderer. Wait, what? Does that mean our other bow is in Forest? Are we sure it's Magic?
No. I mean, we've only seen magic in forest. We have literally not seen any other items, so magic could be the actual path or it could be the wander. We just don't know yet.
Yeah, there is something else in forest, though.
Just like there's something else in IGC. But we know that's strength 3 locked.
It's just hard to imagine that there could be anything else wanderer in forest other than magic. Like, what else could there be?
Irons. Gold Scale was a wanderer in the fountain.
No,
Well, yeah, but those would be path, though.
Oh, you're right. Because you need... Yeah, that's logic, right.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, like, what else could be wanderer in forest that's not magic? Because all the other items are, like, unique items that wouldn't be wanderer.
What, did the other hook shot make a difference there?
Maybe if you needed it for some reason, but I don't... I mean, potentially for water? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't have a horse yet. We don't have... Oh, maybe we have a horse. Where's the horse? Prelude. We don't have a horse yet. Horse is long shot locked, so... not longer.
I am being floated the idea of Dins in Forest because we still haven't seen Wasteland as a Firelock check.
That could be.
Well, Dins wouldn't lock Wasteland because we have fire arrows already, so...
That could be a Wanderer.
That's the idea, that it's Wanderer.
Yeah, I find that really unlikely.
Yeah.
Generally, Wanderers prefer early sphere stuff. And I believe fire arrows were in Mido's house, so... yeah, hard to imagine. If Dins is going to be in Forest Temple, then I imagine it's just Shadow Temple.
I mean, that's... yeah.
We'll find out, because Ego does have Mirror Shield. Renata, unfortunately, does not. We'll see where he goes.
Alright, and we're just winding down to the last 30 minutes of this race here. Rappa is on that timer. Obviously, less critical in Renata versus Nath because they haven't done this is their first match. But obviously, Rappa does need to find that third piece before Ego, or unfortunately, that's the curtain.
I wasn't quite paying attention if Renata peeked that chest. We know that it was not a piece. But Egodev showing us. Oh.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Spirit's not the answer.
Yeah, it's
Adult
kinda
Lake?
looking... Yeah, Adult Lake. I would say luckily for Renata, Natheirean is likely to follow all of this and has Mirror Shield. So Renata kind of has a little bit of an advantage there. Did anyone actually do, like, Sunblock Room?
I don't think so. I think we need a bet for whether or not the third Triforce piece will be found.
Fine, I'll do my damn job. Sorry, what was the bet you wanted me to set?
Will we see the third Triforce piece before the time limit?
We didn't see Sunblock Room, so I assume that's where Renata is going. Meanwhile, Egodev gonna do that before fighting Twin Roba, so we'll definitely see it from both of these runners. And LittleMissRappa showing us Adult Lake.
I'll be honest, can you imagine it being a double fishing seed where fishing had two major items?
I'd be so unhappy.
Alright,
with not being hinted. I mean, Boomerang, obviously we didn't need it, but... This rune's the worst.
Apparently, will we see third piece or time limit does not comply with content guidelines, so I have to reword this somehow.
Will we
Monka
find
TOS.
Yeah, will we see the last piece?
Power TFB.
I like that too.
What if TFB just stood for too fucking bad?
It does, in my language. Alright, there we go. That one worked. Go do the thing. Go put your fake points on the line. Make me redistribute them to other people. But make it funny.
Make it funny. Alright. Renata, where will you go next? Oh!
I'm going to Disneyland!
Gonna go do Haunted Wasteland, possibly full-on reversing? Because we haven't really discussed the fact that, well, we don't have our irons or our long shot yet. I mean, GTG is still in play.
The seed feels pretty cursed.
The seed is kind of cursed. Nothing in Haunted Wasteland. So sorry.
Do we ever find where Eponas is by process of elimination?
I think someone said prelude check?
Prelude. So it's low.
Oh, Well, I guess he didn't really want to know that one.
Didn't like that.
Oh, that was great timing.
Like that answer that much? Come on. Prelude.
Better answer.
The horse is on Prelude.
Yeah, and what was Force Medallion?
Water.
Ooh.
Yeah, so...
This is looking bad for Natheirean from that respect, but I don't know what that means as far as our, like, steps.
The only logical GTG access is through Longshot.
Yeah, so Longshot can be the Wanderer in Forest.
Did we ever peek bottom of the lake? Not lake, bottom of the fountain.
I don't think so.
I saw Renata trying to do it.
'Cause Longshot?
Whee.
That silence makes me feel like you guys hate that idea.
Well, again, there's got to be some shenanigans going on, but
yeah, for sure.
there's only 2 items out there. They have to be in the overworld that are unhinted. So there's just not a whole lot of space for shenanigans. And I don't know, it's... I really hope we see Target in Woods. I really feel like there could be a 3rd strength sitting there.
I mean, at this point, with just how kind of we're not being able to find it, and just the way things are going, I feel like at this point, you're probably right.
Yeah. Renata
Unfortunately, nobody's a child right now.
Reversing. And Ego still fighting Twin Rova, because Twin Rova is one of the worst bosses.
So, left side of your screen is Team Reverse, and Team F, apparently. F's in chat for Renata.
Oh. That's okay. Go Child and go do Target in the Woods.
Yeah. I mean, correct. Go to the Fortress. It's just the wrong shooting game. You know that one out there is already foolish.
Yeah. So, we'll see from Nath here. What's the story of GTG?
I'm curious about right side, honestly, with that Song of Time.
Yep.
Oh, takes the top of that BMO statue to the face.
Because if in fact Mirror Shield is one of the unhinted items.
Oh? French vanilla, you love it.
It's so stressful to see a big chest show up the second after you drop like 500 channel points on no.
Oh, is that still going?
It was going for like 45
It's got like
more
another
seconds.
minute. Yeah.
It's gonna feel so dumb.
Yeah, welcome in, Prism. You definitely chose a doozy of a type of randomizer to see here.
I'm gonna take the yes just to disagree with you, Ela.
Should I close this to stop you guys from screwing with it?
I actually really believe it, but okay.
So
Renata didn't sign.
Just to give a quick explanation for Prism Pack, who's joining us new, of a very brief overview of what's happening here. We're looking for 3 Triforce pieces. As soon as any one of these runners finds the 3 Triforce pieces, they are done with the seed, and they will win their race if they're the first person. And all of our runners have 2. We are looking for 1 final piece, and we have 23 minutes left to find it in. If time expires before that piece is found, then the runners with the little stopwatch icon on the trackers there with the 2 number, they will be the winners because they found their second Triforce piece first. But I think all of us are rooting for that 3rd Triforce piece, except for me, since I voted for the I'm not gonna find it.
I will go out and also point out that the 2 runners on the left are in their own race against each other, and the 2 runners on the right are in their race against each other. However, they are all running the same seed so that we could restream it.
There is a key here on the right side. No items, but a key.
So, smarter people, what does that mean for my memes?
Oh my god, it's a long shot. What the heck?
Wait. Rova! Rova, why? Which means that the Requiem, Deathstar.exe has crashed. I'll be right back.
So, I I'm a little confused here. Yeah, so Requiem hard locks all of our abilities to cross. It locks something.
Yeah.
But our third piece was not in Adult Spirits. So Egodev, I think, is making the right call here, going back into Forest, because, oh no, I said it too soon. Where are we going, Egodev?
So, that actually clarifies a lot. I think that makes it almost certain that it's actually Shadow after all. Because there's no way that Longshot can be required on the power path, otherwise it would have been hinted. Because I think we have Overworld on Path of Power, right? A hint?
So we have, let's see, Ganon's Castle, Water,
We had
Ice
DMT.
Cavern, Forest, DMT, Graveyard.
Yeah, so if that Longshot was actually Path, then it would have to be hinted through Spirit Temple. So there actually can't be anything now in Spirit Temple that's required. However, we know that Requiem is Path. So by process of elimination, the only reason that Requiem could be Path is to have access to the hovers, because we know that all crossings are locked behind Requiem. So it has to be hovers, and it just has to be bad luck that hover boots didn't get hinted. And with that being the case, unless Dins is kind to us, it's entirely possible that it's like Deeper Forest for Irons, for Strength 3 in Water, for Dins in Light Trial.
You said Rudo in Forest?
Oh yeah, who the heck knows where Letter is? This somewhere.
So,
and there's something else in the overworld probably, for all I know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what if the magic is in fact Wanderer and Dins is our path to power in Forest, just deeper.
Or what if it's a different item in DMT and it's not actually Strength 2, and maybe there's like Iron Boots on the top of DMT?
Hey,
We've seen all of DMT now.
Never mind.
Have
really the Silvers.
Have we seen Lab Dive?
We have no way to do Lab Dive.
Yes, we do.
Oh, someone found a gold scale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zora's
we're gonna
Fountain
see
and Well.
Water Temple.
Fountain Fairy and
cool.
Well. Because that could be the Wanderer, if... Can it? Because Fountain
Not
Fairy...
for Lab Dive.
No, Lab Dive only accepts gold scale, but Tectite Grotto.
Right, I'm saying that. I'm saying that the Fountain Fairy was the gold scale. I'm saying that it was either that or the whatever.
Lab
Yes,
Dive-
what Shannon said. That.
Lab Dive always requires gold scale logically.
Got
so
it.
doing the irons trick is a trick, and it's not in logic.
Got it. Okay, so
Um,
that's not it.
But the interesting thing is, we're going to be able to see almost all of Water on Egodev's stream here. So this should tell us a lot. I mean, for all we know, it could just be Rudo's, which would be a hysterical troll. But yeah, it's got to be one of these checks that doesn't require long shot. So if Egodev is following the logic correctly, he probably should avoid doing like the boss key chest to save a little bit of time. But with the time we have left, like if it is somehow like Strength 3 in one of the early checks here, then we could potentially get into Light Trial with enough time for a decent amount of checks to be available in Shadow before the time limit.
Also, shoutouts to that Morpha kill, because Morpho likes to struggle out of that corner, and I, for one, friggin' hate it. And I have the worst time just nailing that jump slash.
Yeah, Egodev making some minor strategic mistakes here.
It's something I need to train myself out of in a like limited time match like this. So give yourself the time.
So I think he's kind of lost in the logic and is trying to get Deponas. But we know that this can't be the answer. It's it's definitely not long shot.
Well, that's good news for Rappa. Rappa needs every minute of this to try and find new stuff that Ego hasn't checked.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could just get a hammer from Renata.
Yeah, we'd seen that.
Oh, we have? Frick. Alright, cool.
Yeah, Nath was into GTG first.
Yeah.
Opted to not do Spirit at all, which, as we know, was the right call.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, where is that stupid fire source?
You mean...
And here is Nath going into Spirit. That is the best thing for Renata in this case. LittleMissRappa showing us some field checks.
I mean, that's a biggie.
I'm pretty sure that we've seen these, but...
Nope.
Oh no!
We definitely have not.
We definitely have not seen that. Din's just hanging out on Boulder of Destiny. Hence why it continues to have that name.
Alright, guys, everybody, I think we need to pick Jaws up off the floor on that one. We had not seen that. The Boulder of Destiny has come through for Destiny yet again.
Egodev is just riding away from it to do big pose.
I'm hurting. It's actually crazy that that's the item that was chilling in one of the overworld checks.
Oh.
So everything else has to be a giant chain for Rudos, I think.
Yep. So Natheirean probably going to spend most of the rest of this time here. Renata in an okay position to maybe go check that. And LittleMissRappa, I don't believe has been to ice yet, so it looks like that is where she's gonna go.
I mean, if she plays her cards right, she could potentially get a few checks in Shadow. Like, maybe if she can get ice done in about 7 minutes and then goes to the ferry, I mean, it's not 0%.
Mm-hmm. Egodev going back into water by the looks of it, so also good for LittleMissRappa.
Yeah, I mean, this now we know that this is going to go absolutely nowhere. It has to be a giant chain for Rudos because that's the only thing that's locking any checks in Shadow Temple is basically Rudos to get the Requiem for ultimately for the hover boots.
Yep. Yeah, no point really wasting any time with that. Renata save quitting. The big problem for Renata, even if he finds that Din's right now, needs to go to Forest. And doesn't have that minuet from Lon Lon Ranch to make that a very appealing choice.
How many items are we at now on our path? Because songs obviously aren't on streams, therefore I can't read them.
Oh my gosh. So, the only copy of Forest Path to Power that we have seen was that back of Link from there.
So I think we actually had it right earlier. I'm pretty sure it's got to be Irons in Forest, and then it's going to be Strength 3 in Water, and then it's going to be Rudos in Light Trial.
Yeah.
For... then where's the piece?
The
Shadow.
piece is in Shadow somewhere.
In Shadow?
Yes.
Yes, we can be quite confident.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was almost right like 50 seconds in.
I'm just gonna smile and nod.
So remember earlier how I said, like, the odds
Forget
of...
everything Hila said.
Well, I kind of made it confusing, but I was assuming, like, what are the odds that we have two items... we have two items that are not going to be hinted, right? Because there's 13, plus then ZL's one of them, so there's two items that we don't have hints for. And then they're both going to be hovers and dins. Like, what are the odds? And the answer is, well, that's what happened this seed. So, I mean, it is what it is.
The odds are not in our favor.
I'm just gonna offer you a big fat yikes on that.
It's a yikes for sure. It's a yikes.
Yeah, and again, this is hey, there's Rudos. Everything is lies.
Okay, so it's probably strength 3 in forest for irons and light trial. It's the other way around, basically.
Yep, the other way around. Egodev, little less than 12 minutes left here to go get that. Dan's in Boulder of Destiny. Renata
Ego is not happy about it.
maybe has 10 skulls.
I mean,
Maybe
ego.
has enough adult shooting.
If you're ego, that's literally the only item you don't want to find. You've been trying to avoid that item, and you hit the whammy.
Yeah,
Well, I mean-
and unfortunately, Egodev was just so committed into a play there, like you said, got a little lost in the logic, because otherwise you would have known just bail on all of this, basically.
Lost in the sauce.
The problem is he doesn't know. I mean, obviously he doesn't know where Dins is. So from his perspective, it could have easily been just Dins on one of these dungeon checks instead of the letter. So it's not necessarily bad play by him to chase after those paths.
Is he doing it?
Absolutely not. Yeah, I think this looks like a play.
That could be the boulder.
The play. Renata, where are you going? Oh, hiking up the mountain. I guess we'll see if this is fire or forest. If it's not forest, I would say with 10 minutes left.
Nah, it's not boulder. Ego's going out to the desert, I think.
Well, I don't think... I mean, you clear fields along the way, don't you? Ego, turn.
That is a no.
No.
He's gonna check the grotto. Oh,
no.
mercy.
And I mean, luckily for Ego, they have game 1 under their belt, and they are currently winning this. And okay, it's a skull, but this looks like opening up Crater to probably do fire, unfortunately.
You know what's crazy is that it's actually the time limit working against Rappa. Rappa is legitimately the closest to actually finding this third Triforce piece out of all of our runners. Probably the biggest underdog out of the 4. But I think if she had another 10 minutes in the siege, she'd probably be finishing first.
Yep. I think you're right. Because she's gonna get that Requiem, go do Fairy, and just go Shadow.
Yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee she goes Fairy, but if she does, then, I mean, she'll go straight to Shadow, no questions asked for sure.
Yeah, I really wanted to see her force that game 3, so... Rip.
Yeah, and Renata, unfortunately, picking the wrong dungeon to head into, because I do think that magic would have been a big game changer here on his side. Still don't have enough money. This is so slow.
Yeah, I think Rappa's probably not too familiar with the strats for this room. This room can be super slow if you just haven't practiced it. Oh, it looks like ground jumps are coming. That's good. I still think that Rappa can potentially get maybe the Silver Rupee room and the 2 Redead room in Shadow Temple if she gets hovers right away after picking up Requiem, but needs good execution in this room because every minute lost here is more checks left behind in Shadow. And we're pretty sure it has to be hovers locked, but I mean, the seed could be kind and put that Triforce piece in those like early in Shadow. It's happened before.
Shoutouts to Renata for buying a Goron tunic.
Oh, always. Buy that tunic. 100%. Yeah, unfortunately, I think the fates of all of the runners are sealed. There is a chance Nath goes and does Boulder of Destiny and dips into Shadow. I would say he's the next most likely. But Twin Rova is not fast.
Yeah, this is minus 3 minutes for Nath. So even if he goes straight to Dins after this, it's a long shot. I think it will be a long shot for him.
I was about to say, did you just? Well done.
Yeah, that missing that hook shot is really what made the difference here between Renata and Nath. Because Renata was in Ganon's first and would have gotten that second piece first.
Yeah,
So, full clear your paths, chat.
Extreme Psi there is, but I'm not messing with it while we're doing a restream.
Yes, there is a prison, but if Dathstar goes to prison, Ela and I also go to prison.
Oh, no. It's not me that would put in the prison. It's Ela for that long shot joke. Besides, I like it. Anyway,
Well, we should all just be watching LittleMissRappa's stream because she's the only one who has a chance of finding this third piece, and now's the critical moment.
Oh, go to the ferry.
turn right, turn right.
She'll probably get the song first and check the arch, but
First. Go to the ferry.
Yeah, those are very critical seconds here, though, unfortunately.
Yep. The obligatory, we're not really
Nope.
rooting
game over, man.
any of the runners, but we do enjoy Game 3s a lot.
Yeah, we enjoy Game 3s, and we enjoy the tension of a last 5 minutes of a seed finding the victory. And regardless of who that runner is, I think we'd all be hoping that we found that here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Also, hashtag free the Gorons in the last 5 minutes? Nope.
Of course not.
I mean,
That takes
good call.
like half a minute. Twin Roba, the worst. They're all the worst.
Nath is charging his laser.
X, baby. One of the
Nice.
things I will say, Big Goron Sword, when you have a 2-hour time limit, as someone who is not very good at boss fights, or at least not very consistent at them, like, mwah, chef's kiss. Never unhappy to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I never hate seeing Vigor on Sword. It is just the best quality of life item.
And yeah, it does look like
And there's Nath finding the long shot.
looks like the No's are gonna have this one, unfortunately. If everyone had just listened to me and look for shadow stuff, like...
yeah, look for it in your non-hinted locations. It's been simple.
Yep.
I know it's unlikely. I'm still gonna wait until the actual time's up just for
Oh, definitely.
BS.
I mean...
I'm excited to win my first channel points that I think ever.
Right? I know I had a lot of points at one point, and then I kind of lost a ton, 700k or something like that.
Gamble responsibly, even
Yeah, but
with your fake money.
Yeah, but now I'm back to 100k, so it's fine.
Like 183k?
Look, just being here and doing the predictions and watching and not spending the points is kind of really helpful for that.
One of these times it's going to be 0 through 5. One of these times it's going to be 0 through 5.
0 through 5, what?
For the
you've been that's what you've been betting on for those?
I'm the one person who donates their points to that every time.
All I know is that there was one where I was the solo bet on 6, and it was 6, and I was super happy.
Yeah, I won a solo bet on 11 the other day, I think.
Alright, 2.5 minutes.
Oh, well... feels bad for LittleMissRappa. She was one check away from
Yeah.
a good fighting chance in Shadow.
What'll be even
I
worse
have a feeling we can figure out where it is after the stream. I'm sure we can get somebody to pick up that Dins and start running through Shadow during the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know Renata and Nath were kind of doing a head-to-head, but they are doing it about a half hour after this one.
Yeah, they were planning on doing their next race. They didn't, let us know about it, unfortunately, so it's not going to be restreamed. But yeah, it's definitely going to happen, which means we could have the result of this matchup tomorrow morning. It could also be that we'll have a Game 3 soon. And
Renata having some trouble with the ground jumps here and dying. F's in chat for Renata.
Yeah. Also, sorry, go ahead. I keep doing that, and I don't mean to cut you off, I promise.
That's okay. What are you saying?
I don't remember at this point. Just go. I'm sorry.
Damn it, Jeff.
I know, right?
Unfortunately, buying the Goron Tunic does not save you from failed ground jumps, and they are hard to do with Big Goron Sword.
Oh, it was, No, I've lost it again. Well, whatever. Yeah, assuming that someone comes in to join us for an interview, at least one of the four, we'll probably see if somebody checks for it.
Yeah. I mean, knowing just how disgustingly trolly some of these seeds are, I wouldn't be too surprised even if it ends up all the way on Bongo, but maybe they're comfortable enough going through Shadow that they can speak and do that at the same time.
That is GG's. Get your GG's in the chat for Natheirean and Egodev for them going to the final timer here, and they'll probably get notified of their win shortly.
Yeah, what a mess with the seed. This was it's a tough one. Not really much else to say about that. Like, having those two key items be the two that were unhinted in a batch of 10 hints is just ridiculous.
Like, you sort of understand why, because you figure out, unfortunately, after a very long trip through Shadow Temple, especially with that, freely available mirror shield, but to your point, also unhinted.
Alright, let's see who we're dragging in here. We've got Egodev coming in. There's Ego. Let's see who else we got.
Welcome in, GG's.
GG's, Ego.
Oh, GG's. Thank you.
There's Natheirean.
GG's.
And here are our two winners here, Natheirean and Egodev. We'll see if the other two will join us in just 1 second.
So, any initial thoughts, or do you just want us to kind of tell you what the missing pieces were?
It has to be in Shadow at this point. There's nowhere else it could be on 13 steps, I think.
You are correct. We're
I'm
sure
guessing... Strain 3 has to be in a field location. I'm assuming, like, Din... Or it's probably, like, Rudo's behind somewhere into... It's like Rudo's and Din somewhere in the field, I think. One behind Light Trial. Something in water.
Yeah, you're pretty close. Tell you the answer, but you're not going to like it. But I want to welcome LittleMissRappa, unfortunately coming up in second. But as we were watching in the last 15 minutes, the racer that had probably the best chance to win had this seed gone another 15 minutes or so.
You don't... it feels bad to say. I mean... we were really hoping to get that Game 3 forced.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was in, if I could have gone a little deeper into the Spirit Temple, I really feel like it was in there.
Nope.
No? Oh, shit, where was it?
No, I did everything there. There was a long shot there.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Imagine my disappointment.
Requiem was the only path for the hover boots, that was it. Sadly.
Oh,
Yeah.
that tracks. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll give everybody a brief summary of what you missed out on. So basically, everything was bait. Uh, you have a lot of dungeon hints that are all pointing to each other in a cycle, leading to the logically required Rudo's letter that was in Water Temple. We're pretty sure that it's Strength 3 in Forest for Irons and Light Trial for those Rudos, and then Rudos is just for Ice Cavern for Requiem, and then Requiem is locking those lonely little hover boots in the Colossus Ferry. And then the item that everybody missed, except for LittleMissRappa, was the Din's Fire on Boulder of Destiny in a Hyrule Field. And that was the key that probably locks our final Triforce piece in Shadow Temple.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh,
welcome
I
in,
was
Renata.
just about to go start doing field checks. So, a little sad, but
Yeah, well, we were talking like, what are really the odds that Dins and Hovers are the items that don't get hinted? How rude.
Very rude.
Not to mention Rova having bait shot.
Yeah.
Also, if someone wants to pick up that Din Bolda and tell us where in Shadow Temple that stupid piece is, that'd be nice.
I'll continue on after this. And see if
I
can't
I
find
just
it in
want to
there.
know. I just want to know.
So, LittleMissRappa, I'm not sure if you heard where the Hovers were. Colossus Ferry.
Cool.
Oh, Nat's on it.
All right, then I'm gonna head on out of there and not do more of the Colossus. The Spirit
I mean,
Temple.
you know what? I'm just gonna put it back on. Why not? I'll let chat see it again, because if Nat's heading back in there.
Yeah, so...
I guess I also miss magic too. I was gonna do
Yeah,
the same thing.
It was early forest.
yeah, I want to say it was the
really
basement
hurt
chest for boss.
I thought
No,
magic
it
was a
It
Stalfos.
was the Stalfos chest, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, lobby
I
Stalfos.
I dipped as soon as Stalfos were done. I was like, I don't have time. This is probably it. So I didn't find that long shot.
Yeah.
And I think
I
the
made
best.
one attempt at hoverless courtyard, but then it's like, it's not worth trying it. I do not know the setup for that very well, and I don't know the ricochet method of it. Unfortunately, it's something I just haven't practiced.
I think what actually paid off for you on that one, LittleMissRappa, was that at that time we actually hadn't known about the forest path of Wanderer yet. We'd only known about the path of power. So we thought, oh, one item, we're done. And then we found that Wanderer hint later, and well, yeah.
That was like the one hint I think I never found.
I don't even remember where it was.
Well, there's only one copy of it in the seed.
I'm guessing fountain.
Yeah, so Wanderer was in Fountain. That was the copy we found. And then Forest, I think, Nat, you were the only one who did Back of Lake hints.
I think they were all duplicates of things. I don't remember being.
Okay.
I think I found duplicates everywhere. I could be wrong.
Okay. Also, while I did say I was going to put them back on the restream, I also shouldn't keep. I'm not going to keep us on all the whole time while we go find it. I do want to know where the hell that stupid thing is, but at the same time, I'm not going to hold up the entire restream while we hunt it down. I do want to hear thoughts on this seed from, of course,
Magic.
from the others. Obviously, Renata. How you feeling there? I see you also joining the Let's Go Find Everything crew.
Yeah. As soon as I got that Shadow 1 piece, and there's like 4 different ways to get that. Like Song of Time, Hover Boots, Fire Source, Hook Shot. That was when I figured I was way behind.
Oh, we had a lot of fun seeing all the different ways people were getting that.
So you would have been ahead, actually, if you had picked up the hook shot before going into Ganon's. You were a little ahead of Nath getting in there. And then it just none of the pieces connected for anyone to make it into Shadow during the actual match, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'd also like to point out that in the it looks like in the 15 minutes between the first and last person finding piece 1, the first person of the 4 of you, the first one of you had also found the second piece. Nath was the first one of you to find a piece in general. at about 38 minutes, and their second one just before 52 minutes. Whereas
Nice.
they found their
Very
second
nice.
piece at basically the same time LittleMissRappa found her first piece.
That's very awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, I never said GG, Nash. Congrats. That's really
Oh,
good.
thanks. It was
that's
an
cool.
interesting seed.
I made the grave error. I probably could have found my first one so much faster, but I found the Kokiri sword, and I was like, let's do it. Let's rush
Oh, I
D2
did Deku
three.
too. You're not the only one.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so sad.
I
Absolutely.
knew it was foolish before, so.
Oh, did you? Oh,
Yeah, there was a foolish hint.
I escaped that one.
oh man.
Yeah, I got the hint before I got the sword as well. So
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Nope.
And I thought to myself, maybe it's foolish, but like, no, maybe it's my first dungeon for IGC, and of course, IGC is
Oh.
light trial.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Renata. Your ground jumps have literally been the death of you today.
Yeah, I gotta practice back up again. I think I've been having. I normally don't have this much trouble with them, but
Yeah, it's big Goron sword. Makes it tough.
Yeah.
One of our trackers, Shannock, has a very interesting screenshot. Shannock, do you mind putting that in the race spoilers channel and, of course, spoilered out? Because I think people who know the results here will want to see that. Because that's really cool. We have a screenshot of a very specific spot in the race right before the 1 hour mark. That it's just awesome. But other than that, it was a really great race to watch. Obviously, having two races going on Restream is a lot to follow, but we didn't miss anything crazy, so it was really good to watch and see everyone as they progress through everything.
Not a terrible seed, honestly. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
everything made sense, and it was just a matter of
Eventually.
doing. Yeah, eventually. Like, there have been some where I'm like, what is this logic? But this, like, it made sense.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
only thing that bugged me during this whole seed, like at least toward the beginning, was so I found two CAC paths, like one courage, one wisdom, pretty early. I only
Yeah.
found Saria's, and I'm like, oh boy, it's gonna be 10 skulls, and I'm skipping skulls.
And then
yeah, I
you
think
found
the
got
seed
the-
is
bailed out.
pretty good as long as you just don't go to the places that are hinted.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Shannock to post it in the race spoiler channel, so that's in the
That's
Discord now.
awesome. That's so funny.
Literally simultaneous pieces.
I feel bad about that Jinx Fire. Oh, that bait is everywhere.
Especially at the end. Unfortunately, you could have at like the last 10 or 15 minutes when you're in do a dungeon mode, watching you get on opponent and run right by the Bolda was it feels bad. It just feels so bad.
You did big pose at one point, and I'm like, surely you do boulder while you're doing big pose. No.
No, at
We
that point,
just
I
need-
was just following what the seed gave
Yeah,
me.
I mean it's 2 hours. You got to make the choices, and I mean
Yeah.
it didn't completely bite you here, luckily enough, but it worked out. Yeah. Unfortunately, that does mean for LittleMissRappa that is an elimination from the tournament, but it was a great pleasure to watch the restreams that we had with you. Egodev,
Such a pleasure. Thank you.
of course. Egodev, you will be moving on to the next round as soon as I actually load my page to see who the hell that's against. Because Zopar? I think that's Zopar.
Oh, that's right.
No, sorry.
it's Squall
Yep.
with numbers.
Yep, I'm completely wrong.
But yeah, and I think LittleMissRappa, as far as I know, this is your first tournament, so you had a really good showing. You even won a best of 3 in the opening round, kind of having the bad luck of being forced to play an extra best of 3. But what are your thoughts on just playing a tournament for the first time?
It was really fun. I was so nervous. But then, after the first couple races, it's just like, I don't know. I know what I'm doing. It's fine. And it was really, really fun. You guys are so incredible for, I feel like I had to have my hand held a lot of the way. And you guys were so nice about all of it. So thank you so much, everybody. Ego, thank you so much for an awesome 2 races. That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, my thanks. GG's again.
And we'll see some more from both of you in various races of of other sorts. Egodev definitely at least part of the still part of the Triforce Blitz tournament here. Renata and Nath are still just going nuts in Shadow Temple, and it's hilarious to watch. I'm not gonna lie. And the best part is, weren't you guys gonna do another race after this too?
Yeah,
we were gonna run it back.
This is the race to find the last piece.
There you go. Just call it. That's just who moves on. That's fine. We're good. Forget the best of 3. No, I'm kidding.
Well, GG's Renata. You're out if that's the case.
Oh.
Well, no, Nath hasn't found it yet.
I did have the time penalty of having to go grab magic, but
There you go.
Oh, I did the same.
oh, okay.
I literally played. I couldn't think of a good place to get magic, so I literally played Requiem to get to the ferry over there, just for magic.
Oh.
Save
Oh, yeah,
the
the
stat
stats,
talk
but-
for the next game.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead, and I think it's about time we cut stream for tonight. So let's go ahead and actually get a shout out to our volunteers one more time, and of course our runners. There's should be 4 names. Yes, there they are. 4 names. Renata, Skyfire, Natheirean, LittleMissRappa and Egodev. Great to watch the 4 of you run this race, and we hope to see more from you soon. Of course, also to our trackers, the veritable army we have behind us today, of Veva, Ronan, Shanik, Shy, and of course Baseball, who's also doing all the race monitoring and somehow convincing me that I know what I'm doing by opening race rooms. I don't. I'll be frank. I don't. And of course,
You know now.
do I? But of course, also Elagatua and melqwii for actually knowing, or at least talking about the logic side of all this, so that we could make this work. Thank you all for your help on making this crazy restream happen. And I need to go look up what the heck I'm doing with the raid. So while you guys take us out here.
I just wanted to ask LittleMissRappa, what is next, do you think? Just gonna do some pickup races for Triforce Blitz, or are you gonna join League, which was announced will be starting again next month?
No idea. Maybe some pickup races first. I don't know. I definitely have some skills that I have seen others do that I would like to learn before I hop into more races. But yeah, I'm excited for whatever. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes, well, to reiterate, it's been a lot of fun watching you play, and hope to see you around in a few new tournaments, races here.
I just want to ask that thank God there's no webcam for races, because my face of disappointment in water tank would be a clip
Oh,
for sure.
I know that when I think it was you, unless I'm bleeding between the 4 screens I've got. I think it was. I know that someone with a yellow trimmed mirror shield did a lot of shield flicks when they found their most recent progression item. I think it was Rudo's.
Yeah, I was mad.
Yeah.
That was you. Okay, cool. I'm not hallucinating. All right.
And then I stopped for 2 minutes to think everything again, think of my life.
Yeah. All right. If you
Make the
guys.
decision to play this game.
Yeah, that's kind of the story. What was the quote I had? Shoot, where'd I put it? I had a window for it. Where'd it go?
This from Philosophy of...
Oh, no. It was, everything was bait and the siege sucks. That's it.
Oh.